All right, everybody. Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Tally Faye. We have our cookie dough. It's been in the refrigerator. It's all good and chilled and firm. So now it's time for us to roll our balls and get them placed on the sheet and get them to baking. It takes about 8 to 10 minutes for them to bake. And my oven is preheated on 375, okay? And it said to do them about in 1.5 inch size balls. So we're gonna, I don't know, what do you call a 1.5 inch size ball? I always make them too big, I think. But, I don't know. We're gonna roll them out here. Get them on this sheet. And it says to press them out a little bit, you know. And I know I said in the earlier video that I was going to repeat the ingredients to y'all. So if I think about that in a minute when I get these in the oven, I'll get that sheet out and give y'all the amounts of them again. But let's get these going. I think these are a little bit too big. I'm going to try to go for that. I don't want a little old puny cookie though. I like a cookie with some size to it, but that dough's nice and chilled now, so we can handle it now. I'm just gonna keep pulling them out of here, getting them rolled. See how quick I can get this done here, so we can get them in the oven. 8 to 10 minutes it says. Now you know everybody has different things about cookies, whether they want them whether they like them crispy, kind of like, or chewy. And I'm a chewy girl on cookies. That would be my, so I'm going to come close to become 8 minutes. I'm going to be checking them out. I will take them out of the oven, any cookies just about that I'm baking. I'll take them out of the oven when they're still raw looking. Because to me, they finish baking some more. They're going to finish cooking some on that cookie sheet while you let them sit there cool a minute. And then that way they stay moist, you know. They'll finish cooking out and they're done, so don't be afraid of the egg in them or whatever. It's not like you're eating raw egg. So, you know, don't be afraid of that. And they'll be good and chewy that way. Alright, we'll get this done. 4 more. I think my balls on them are getting bigger. I'm trying not to. Need to get me some kind of little scoop, I guess, that I can make them be, you know, all the same size and everything and stuff. But, you know, that's really not my thing in my kitchen. My stuff is not generally uniform. You know, I don't know really and truly much home cooking that it really is, but maybe it is, and I don't know. We just didn't grow up worrying about uniform size and stuff like that or whatever. All right, let me wash my hands off. Where I can handle this, because before I press them, I'm going to take them, and I got my sugar that I was talking about that I ground up in my little grinder thingy, that little hand grinder that I used to do my onions and stuff. I did that in that same thing. But it says to take these cookies and these dough balls and roll them in this sugar right quick. So we're going to toss that fine sugar on them. It's real fine because I ground it up like that. But you can buy that at the store. It's baker's sugar or castor sugar, I think, like I said. But this works just as good for me. And that way I don't have to have, that's one less sugar I have to buy. Again, I want y'all to figure out how to use things in your pantry, you know, without having to buy all that extra stuff. You know, you can do this with what you have in your pantry if you have your basics in there. You always want these basic things, you know, flour and shortening and sugar and oil and butter and milk and stuff like that. All right, fixing to be done here. Coat them with the sugar. That's kind of like how snickerdoodles are, isn't it? You do them in the cinnamon and sugar. Okay, you can press them however you want to, but I like to take my old potato masher and I just do it one way and then crossways. Do it like that, like that. Makes these cute little squares on it. I guess you could just smash them out with your hand if you wanted to. You're not pressing them all the way down. You're just spreading them out a little bit, helping them get a jump on being on spreading. Because they'd probably, with you rolling them in balls like that, it'd make them be raw in the middle. I think this makes them cook correctly. See how it does the little, see? That's how it does with this potato smasher, vegetable smasher. I call it a potato smasher. I do smash some things besides potatoes with it sometimes, some vegetables. But I found I can do it easier with my hand there. Get it off of there easier rather than pressing it on the pan. That sugar makes it come loose. All right, one more. Get this one, last one. All right, we have a pan of cookies ready for the oven. Homemade cream cheese cookies. We're gonna find this out, y'all. You there? Let's go for it. I'm in here and I'm gonna put my timer on 8 minutes. And we're gonna start that from there. So, in the meantime, while those are baking, I'm gonna set this back in the refrigerator to keep it cold because I've got a few more in there to make. We'll see how many that ended up making in the end. And like this sugar that I ground, I'm gonna put this, because I'm gonna have plenty of it left, I'm gonna put it in a Ziploc baggie and mark it on there that it's my baker's sugar. That way I'll have it for some of my other baking things like that, and that'll come in handy. I won't have to get into my other sugar. So I'm gonna set this over here for now. Just gonna go here. Let me put this up real quick. And what I want to show y'all is the pan of cornbread. Okay. Let me see. I want y'all to see how pretty. Oh, the cornbread. Look how pretty it baked up, right? And there's the barbecue cups. Look at that. Do you think that looks tasty? There's the smoked pepper jack on that side and the cheddar on this side. But I want to show y'all about this pan of cornbread. Let me see. Okay, I've got it cooled now. See, I can shake that and it's going to move. I'm going to set my phone back over there and show y'all how easy it comes out of there by doing that with the cornmeal, right? And having your grease hot and stuff in there. Okay, let me get a plate. Now, I've let this cornbread cool so you're not afraid of burning yourself or anything. But what I'm going to do to turn it out is I just put me a plate over it like this. And you're going to get to see that amazing crust that it has on it. And it just flips right out of there. Now look at this. And I'm going to show you all this up close. See, it's got all the little, that's where the cornmeal came together on the edges and stuff. And now, y'all watch when I cut it and you'll see how beautiful and moist on the inside it is. And then the amazing crust on the outside. Let me see here. I'm going to get us a knife here. Pull it a little closer and we'll get down here on this big pone of cornbread. I'm going to cut it right down the middle. Can you hear that crunching? I know it's going to be delicious with those beans. Oh my goodness. I'm going to cut it in 3 little pieces here so I don't have to. All right, y'all. Now, look at this. Can you see it? Look at that. And moist. Oh my goodness. It's like a cake almost. That is going to be so good. So good, y'all. I'm very pleased with it. If you make that one time, I'm pretty sure you can nail that on the first round. You know, some of these things, these recipes and stuff, you don't get it right the first time. You can't let that frustrate you or anything. You know, if you're unfamiliar with some cooking and stuff, home cooking in the kitchen and everything, it's like anything. It takes practice. It takes time. So don't get frustrated if it don't turn out perfect. And don't be thinking my stuff turns out perfect all the time. I promise you, I have some flub ups, but I'm no longer afraid of flubbing up, right? And so it's got to flub up pretty bad for us not to eat it, that's for sure, and enjoy it. But sometimes I would, you know, what I'm calling a flub up is, you know, it just didn't turn out like I really wanted it to, you know, and so you'll find yourself getting frustrated with that. Well, don't do that. You know, keep on. And after you've made something a couple of times, and you know, you realize the little things, you're like, oh, you know, I remember I should have done it like this or that or whatever and stuff. And it's a learning process. But that's how you got to do it, is get in there and do it. And it's all for the love of your family, for your kids and stuff. Show them. Get them in there with you. There's so many things. Like, I was thinking about that, about making these cookies and stuff, you know. Well, most all moms already know, you know, even the modern day mom even knows about making cookies and stuff with your kids. They love that. Getting them in there, making cookies and stuff. And you can get them to help you roll the balls and dip them in the sugar. They'd love to do that. And then that makes them want to eat the cookies, right? It's like the, I was thinking about the coleslaw, right? Kids, you know, eating cabbage. That's, you know, you're trying to think, oh my goodness, you know, my kid will not eat cabbage. But say you got them to stir up the dressing for the coleslaw, because you want to do the chopping and stuff if you're afraid of them cutting their fingers or something, you know. But say you had the bowl over there and you had them stirring up the dressing. You're like, okay, you got the dressing ready for the coleslaw, you know, and they get excited about it. So it's just all kind of things like that you can do. They could have pressed the pie crust in the cup for the barbecue cups, you know, all kind of things like that. If you get them engaged in it and they haven't created an interest for them in it, and then say you bite into it or whatever and stuff, you know, or get Dad to come in and taste it and be like, oh my goodness, this is delicious. Who made this? You know, and they'll be over there going, I did, you know, and that's when you're like, you did a wonderful job, you know, and it almost talks them into eating it themselves, whether they wanted to or not. So, you know, you got to work with them in the kitchen. Show that interest in there and stuff, and show them the love and all, and it just comes in all kinds of ways in here. So, give them the love with it. Now, we are, well, a minute and a half away on these cookies, so I might as well wait a minute and stuff. But what I decided I would do to get a jump on everything is go ahead and build a plate and show y'all our dinner for tonight, because that's the dessert cooking in the oven, right? I'm going to show y'all what a nice plate it ended up making. So let me get the dishes and I'll build a plate for you. We'll see what we come up with on this. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'll get a little old bowl. Am I over here correctly? Let me make sure. Got all my stuff. Get this bowl and ladle out. All these beans are so delicious. They are so good. Put some of that juice in there. Pot liquor, I call it. We're going to set it on over here. And I'm gonna get the coleslaw out, okay? And this coleslaw turned out really delicious. It has such a wonderful, tangy flavor to it. I think you're gonna really like it. And it's as basic as you can get, too. Let me turn this timer off and peek at these. Okay, we're gonna do it a couple more minutes. Timer 1, 2. Okay, let's see where we're at on that while I'm building this plate. All right, so now we've got our coleslaw in a bowl. See how pretty it is? Whoops. Can you see it? Turned out really pretty. Get this over here. I'm going to get a couple of forks and see if I can get these cups up out of these. Get us some barbecue cups up out of here. Like I say, I take a fork and go around it and try to. Oh, it's so crusty and everything. Woo! Set this right here and see what I can do. There, looky there. I'm going to do a couple of these. Oh, it's so crusty, y'all. Have y'all made these before? I know they're not anything new. You know, most of my cooking is such home cooking that I've never made anything like this, but I thought when I seen this that it would be something that the kids would really have a chance of you talking them into eating, with the meat and the cheese and the crust and all that. So see, and say we get us a little thing of cornbread here. Now I'm going to set these beans on it. And we have a beautiful plate. Let me get these cookies out of the oven. They're coming, y'all. I'm going to get them out right now, just so y'all can see them. Well, here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beep. We are done on that. Okay. I can see they're just getting golden brown on the bottom. Now, just because I'm rushing it a little bit, you might let them cook just I'd say 1 more minute. You know, 1 more minute. But it is not going to hurt nothing. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of here. Shut this up. And I'm going to let them cool. Oh, yeah, they have an amazing crust-like on them. That sugar made a great crust. Look at that, y'all. Oh, how awesome. See, so say I take these and get me a spatula. What, would somebody eat 2 or 3 cookies, huh? What do you think? For their dessert. We're going to put it just like that. And I'm going to back this up. And see, here's the little cookies. Can you see them? Look. And they're crunchy. They're crispy, like on the sugary crispy on the top. They smell wonderful. And now, and I only did 2 of the barbecue cups on there. But I'm going to set it down so you can see it better. I want you to see how beautiful it is. And see if you think that you could feed your family this tonight. What do you think? Huh? It's beautiful, y'all. Made with love, and every bit of it made from scratch. You can do this thing. Keep watching In the Kitchen with Tally Faye, and we'll work on these meals and try to find things that your children and your family and all will enjoy, and work it all out together. Work on what you have in your pantry and make it happen. I love you guys. It's been a wonderful day, and I hope you all have a wonderful work week, and God bless you all, and thank you guys.